Hello all, welcome to the YouTube channel of Chamali Devi Institute of Pharmacy Indore. Today we are going to discuss about the qualitative test for amines. So first of all, if we talk about amines, they are the derivatives of ammonia with the one or more alkyl group or allyl groups attached or bonded to the nitrogen atom. And we can classify amines as either alkyl amines or aryl amines as per the group attached with the nitrogen atom. Apart from that, the aliphatic amines are again divided into three classes, that is the primary amine, secondary amine and tertiary amine. So here the different tests for the amines. Here if you say there are a number of tests to identify the sample which carries amines, it includes solubility test, litmus test, carbylamine test, nitrous acid test and azotite test as well as Hinsberg test. First of all, solubility test. If we talk about amines, amines are the organic compounds which are basic in nature and so they dissolve in mineral acids like HCl, but this test is not a confirmation test for amines. The chemical reaction involved is shown in the slide. When an amine reacts with the HCl like aniline reacts with the HCl, it results into the formation of its salt, that is benzene aminium chloride, and when it becomes salt it will be seen as a clear solution, and that's why a clear solubility test would be there for the amine. While when we compare this for the other substances which contains nitrogen like amides, then when a water insoluble amide reacts with the HCl, it will not be allowed to solubilize into the aqueous acids, and this is how we can differentiate between your amines and amides. So it is again a good test for determination of nitrogen containing compounds. Here in the procedure, we usually need to take our given organic compound which need to be tested in a clean test tube, and 2 to 3 drops of the concentrated HCl would be added to that. Shake the solution and observe the solubility. If it is soluble, then that would be amine only. The second test includes the litmus test. Amines are basic in nature, so it turns red litmus paper blue, and this test is also not a confirmation test for amines, but it is again a test for the basic behavior of the substance which is there in your organic sample. Here for doing this we just used to take the moist red litmus paper and we used to take 1 to 2 drops of our given organic compound on it. If the color of the red litmus paper turns blue, it indicates the presence of basic compound. So we can judge the basic behavior of amines using this test. The next test is the carbylamine test. It is also known as isocyanide test because the reaction involved here is resulting into the formation of the isocyanide, and because of the presence of isocyanide we can detect the substance as the primary amines. Usually primary amines when reacts with the chloroform in presence of alkali, isocyanide is formed. When this isocyanide forms, it produces very unpleasant odor, and if you get that unpleasant odor, it confirms the presence of primary amine. Both aliphatic as well as aromatic amines give this test, and secondary and tertiary amine do not give this test. For procedure, we used to take potassium hydroxide in a clean test tube and add 2 ml of ethanol to it, and then warm the test tube until the potassium hydroxide dissolves completely in it. To this, add a few drops of chloroform and shake well. Then the above mixture is taken and a small amount of the given organic sample which needs to be tested is added in that, and it was warmed gently. Then just look for or observe the order of the resulting mixture. If it is the unpleasant order, which is a characteristic isocyanate order, then the test confirms the presence of primary amine. One precaution you need to take care of it here is that isocyanates are highly poisonous. So do not smell the gas directly from the mouth of test tube. The next test is the azo dye test. Azo dye test is performed in order to confirm the presence of aromatic amines. Specifically, aromatic amines forms a diazonium salt when treated with the nitrous acid. These diazo compounds, when coupled with the phenol-like beta-naphthols, forms an orange azo dye which is insoluble in water, and the presence of red-orange dye confirms the presence of aromatic amine. In the procedure, we used to take simultaneously 3 test tubes and mark them as A, B and C. In test tube A, dissolve the given compound in 2 ml of dilute HCl. In test tube B, prepare aqueous solution of sodium nitrite solution. In test tube C, dissolve naphthol in dilute sodium hydroxide. Then all the test tubes needs to be taken in the ice bath. After some time, say for 2 to 5 minutes, add the contents in the test tube B to the mixture in the test tube A. The resulting mixture is added to the contents in the test tube C, and then stir the mixture with the test tube mixture in the test tube with a glass rod and observe the changes in the test tube. So if you found orange red color in the test tube, then definitely it would be a aromatic amine. Precaution need to be taken here is that the benzene diazonium salts are very unstable at room temperature. So you have to, whenever you are performing this azo dye test, you have to maintain the temperature between 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. Now there are some of the tests which are used to differentiate between the primary, secondary and tertiary amines. This includes nitrous acid test, and the second one is the Hinsberg test. Now the nitrous acid test. Nitrous acid, that is HONO or HNO2. It reacts with the aliphatic amines in a fashion that provides a useful test for distinguishing primary, secondary and tertiary amines. The test is used to identify primary, secondary and tertiary amines, but here the main thing is that nitrous acid decomposed at room temperature very easily, and so we need to prepare it in situ. And for the preparation of this molecule in situ, it is prepared by the reaction of sodium nitrite with the strong aqueous acid. So we used to take sodium nitrite and aqueous acid like HCl in our procedure for preparation of HONO or for the preparation of nitrous acid. So here in the procedure, dissolve the given organic compound in concentrated acid like HCl and water in a clean test tube. Cool the solution in ice bath for 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. To the cooled solution, add sodium nitrite dropwise and mix well. Now test the solution for the presence of free nitrous acid. Add excess of nitrous acid solution if there is an absence of nitrous acid. Then identify or observe the conditions which is there in the test tubes. On the basis of the observation, we can determine whether it is a primary, secondary or tertiary amine. So the observation which we can get is that the primary amines, aliphatic amines, react with the nitrous acid to give nitrogen gas, which is seen as a bubble in the test tube. Secondary amines, when reacts with the nitrous acid, they form a yellow oily compound which is known as nitrosamine. tertiary amines, when reacts with the nitrous acid, they form soluble nitrite salt. First of all, a primary amine, when reacts with the nitrous acid, it forms a diazonium salts, and at higher temperature the formed diazonium compound undergoes decomposition. So if you see about the reaction, it results into the evolution of a nitrogen gas, and that bubbles out of the test tube as shown in the slide. Now, in case of the secondary amines, whether aliphatic or aromatic, reacts with the nitrous acid to yield an nitrosamine, that is a yellow oily liquid which separates from the reaction mixture. As shown here in the slide, you can observe the oily yellow liquid at the in the test tube. Here nitrosamines are easily hydrolyzed by dilute HCl back to the secondary amine. But when nitrosamine reacts with the phenol and sulfuric acid, it forms green color solution, which when reacts with the sodium hydroxide turns it into deep blue color, and this is the basis of Lieberman's nitroso reaction, and it is used to detect the presence of secondary amines. You have to take the precautions because nitrosamines are highly carcinogenic substances. When tertiary amines, whether aliphatic or aromatic, reacts with the nitrous acid, they form soluble nitrite salts of the type R3N positive and double bond O negative, and which are of very little importance. The next test is the Hinsberg test. Amines reacts with the benzene sulfonyl chloride, which is known as Hinsberg reagent, in the alkaline medium, and different amines react differently. For example, when primary amines react with the benzene sulfonyl chloride, a clear solution is obtained. When secondary amines reacts with the benzene sulfonyl chloride in the alkaline medium, it forms a precipitate. And when water insoluble tertiary amines reacts with the benzene sulfonyl chloride in alkaline medium, no apparent change is observed. But when these solutions in the above mixture is acidified with the HCl or hydrochloric acid, again different sets of results obtained. As when the primary amine reacts or acidified with the HCl, a precipitate is obtained. In case of secondary amine, no change in the precipitate would be there, and in case of tertiary amine, a clear solution would be there. Now, in the procedure of Hinsberg test, take the given organic compound to be tested in a clean test tube, add 2 ml of sodium hydroxide solution and 1 ml of benzene sulfonyl chloride to it. Shake the mixture well and add water to dilute the solution. Cool the mixture under tap water and observe the formation of the precipitate. If precipitate form, then treat it with the concentrated hydrochloric acid. See here, in the case of primary amine reacts with the benzene sulfonyl chloride to produce substituted sulfonamide, which contains an acidic hydrogen, and it dissolves in the basic medium as shown here. When you again treat it with the acidic solution, it precipitates out. When we are talking about the secondary amine, it forms a substituted sulfonamide which is insoluble in the alkali because it does not have any acidic hydrogen, and when you carried the reaction in the acidic environment again, then there would be no reaction. The precipitates would be as such in the reaction medium or the test tube. So, when a tertiary amine is taken with the benzene sulfonyl chloride, it do not react with the benzene sulfonyl chloride, and that's why the different amines give different kind of reactions with the benzene sulfonyl chloride and thus can be identified. Thank you everyone.